Okay, I've been gone for about 2 weeks. Everything's still alive, temperatures are fine, but you can see the middle one there is doing the best, the one without the slatted rack. So I do have a little window. It is windy. It's about 10 degrees Celsius. We just got sunny. So I'm just going to take all this stuff around it so that these colonies warm up faster in the sun. And hopefully I can get in, and I'll be dropping the bottom box. I'll consolidate the frames and go down to singles and get rid of those slatted racks. So that's the goal for today, and then I'll top off the patties if they're short. I do have an open feeder on my deck over there with I guess a constant gallon of light sugar syrup with some rocket fuel. And I guess you can see, being gone 2 weeks, it's probably been off for a while. It's squirrels. So I'm going to have to do something with my squirrel problems. We have so many squirrels here. So either live trap or the other thing. So yeah, I need to manage my squirrels. And you can see those other colonies are not very active. This one does have some activity. It is down to a single. Yeah, I need the sunshine to warm these things up a bit more at this time of year, because like most of the West Coast and most of Canada, really slow spring, quite a bit of snow still. Hasn't been cold, or hasn't been warm, but hasn't been cold either, so it's just been gray and soggy and yucky. So it's time to give these bees a bit of fresh air. And some patties and some liquid feed, because I'd say we're still 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks from first pollen at this speed here, so the pussy willows aren't even out at all. So yep, it's just one of those slow years. Okay, I guess in the video I spotted a marked queen, a dead queen on the board here, so one of these colonies is queenless. It's either one of the N ones, because those were the ones that had newer queens. So my gut feel is this one. I collected it. I'll do a gut check on it, and then when I go through this one I'll be able to tell. But this one here, the temperatures are up in the 30s, so it tells me most likely the queen's still in there. And then this one here is queenless, and it's the sick one, which aligns with my hypothesis. But what I'm going to do now is I've got to consolidate that. It doesn't look like a very strong colony, so I'll have a quick look in there and bring it down to a single, and then clean out the bottom board. So that's the goal right now. cluster's not too bad, so but let's see what the bottom looks like and what the weight is, and hopefully the queen's still in there. It should be, but anyways, let's have a quick look. I'll start with the bottom one first. And they've gone through, it looks like, one of the patties, which is good. So I'll be putting this back on after. And one thing about working bees, I always like having an empty box on the ground like that, so that I can pretty much not stress as much. I'm just going to move that onto that, and then the bees, if anything falls through, is contained. Okay, that was pretty heavy. So let's see if there's any queen stuff in there. If there's no brood nest, that's good. Let's see, that's almost empty now, so it looks like they've got some honey frames left, so they should be fine. Can you see that? I'll just have a quick look. So you can see there's not that many bees there, but luckily it tells me that the bees are spanning at least a full frame. So goal is, I'll clean this up a bit. I'll check a couple of these frames. This one's much lighter, and then give them a good cleanup, and then chances are I'll just put that box straight back on, because I doubt there's any eggs there. Okay, a bit of brood there, but not much. It's more of an empty. Like I said, it's shitty weather, so we just do our best. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I'll just shake these bees into a new box, and so you can see how the bees have trouble spanning and going right to the exit, because it's quite a ways. So there's a bit of honey here, but there's no brood, so not enough bees there to really do anything. So that's why I'm gonna do a switcheroo in a moment. Yeah, there's probably a few hundred bees here. Okay, let's break this. To not overstress them, we'll just put that on there. Keep some of the heat out, or in. So, just put that like that. And now you can see I torched this, so there is moldy. If the colony is too small, you will get wetness. And you can see there's no bees there, so the bees can't actually span that. And that's the challenge with slatted racks and really cold, especially at this time. So I'm going to be taking that out. And like it's good practice, always have a pail for dead bees. I've got 2 hive tools, so I'll use one for inspecting and then one for cleaning. So I don't, if there's dead bees are the ones that are typically sick. So I'm gonna take that out. Okay. I'll do most of this cleanup later. Okay. This is the principal one that I need to clean up. Sensor. And the bees are pretty dry. Just there's any funny things in there. There's about I don't know, half-inch of dead bees, which is not too bad. And I'll be putting the trays back in, and then I'll start my mite treatment. When it gets warmer, I'll put that new bottom board on. But for now, that should be good. Okay, so clean bottom board. And let's do a switcheroo. Let's see. This is the bottom board sensor, so I'll just put that in the middle. So it tells me when the cluster breaks. I'll take this off. That. And still pretty heavy. Make sure she's nice and tight. Okay. Put my funnel box on. So this is the one I use to put my insulation. So when I shake the bees in, basically they'll just fall into that box. Okay. I don't want to shake it because it's full. The frames seem to be full of moisture, condensation. So it's just gonna. I don't want to put too much moisture in there. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so that's that. You can see all the moisture that got dropped from the frames, which is fine. So what I'll do is I'll put this in now. The shims are still there. I'll just close that up. Put that like that. And let's put some insulation in. So you can see, we'll check the single out there, but main reason I like singles is unless the colony is really strong, like this one over here, they tend to struggle in a double in the spring, especially if it's a really long winter like we just had. So no point doing it, and the bees will do fine in a single. There's plenty of food left, so you can see some bees lying around, so I'm just gonna put those on the liming board. So again, bottom board, I removed the slatted rack. There's a few more bees on this one. This is the single. Due to the weather, I'll focus on the ones with the slatted rack, clean that off, put the insert in, and then I'll do the big one here a bit later. They seem to be doing fine. Doing my tilt test, they are pretty light. They won't starve today. but I'm gonna have to start feeding, so yeah, hopefully we can get that going this week. But anyways, cleanup time. I got these inserts that I'll just put underneath, just so the bees can brood up properly and not have to worry about heating that up. Okay, so 2 out of 4 done. I gotta put the insert in there. There's probably, again, a bit of dead bees there, but we'll cover that up. And this one here is the one that's probably gonna fail. But yeah, you just do what you can. And what I'm gonna do too is, so after this, I'll disinfect my gloves. I'll burn off my hive tools to disinfect them. So there's all little things you can do to help prevent disease spread. But yeah, it is what it is. But just before that, I guess I'll open this up. Just have a quick look at the pollen patty and then put those bees in there. A little bit of action there. Good. Let's take this out. I'll wait for a warmer sunny day to check the brood nest out. This was more of a consolidating phase. So let's just... You can see not much going on here. It's got a smell of death, so it's doesn't bode well. So I might do a queen check to see if that queen that I found on the ground there is this one, and just yeah, put it down to a single again. But if these bees are, and I'll take some bee samples too, just to confirm the disease. Like I said, typically the cluster looks healthy. This one's not that big, but yeah, I'll take some bee samples. They consumed a bit of the patty, but not much, which tells me pretty much all that I need to know. Got some vials. I'm just gonna grab some live bee samples. I don't need too many. And I guess what I'll do is I'll keep the bees alive, especially if they're sick, and then monitor the slow death of the colony. I know it seems morbid there, but I guess it is what it is. And the box is super heavy. So heavy. Okay, this is a pure example of what I've been talking about. So you can see how the bottom box here is all empty. There's more mold. So this is that cold dam, especially for smaller clusters. So yeah, this is prime. So just gonna consolidate and have a look to see if the queen's there, but I don't think she is. And I've never had this much mold, but look at all this white stuff there. So, and if the bees, this one's confirmed to have amoeba, so I guess I'll be getting rid of all these frames and cleaning the boxes out. I'm not keeping anything because I'm done trying to figure things out. So yeah, let's take this thing off. I'll clean the bottom board and then we should, I'll just put it back. Okay, you'll notice a lot more dead bees on this bottom board. There's probably triple, a lot bigger than the other one, so I will collect, I guess I could collect some, but I'll keep doing live bee sampling. So let's clean that off and let's do a bit of microscopy later. It's a good 50, 60, it's probably 75 pounds. And you can smell the, I guess the fermentation. So let's have a quick look at some of these bees. So they're all on this side here. These frames here are empty. Let's move the shim. I'll throw a bit of smoke on here. Oop. That. I will leave some sensors on. Okay. Yeah, this cluster does look like it's queenless. They're agitated. They've broken up into two balls of bees. So, yeah, I'll probably wait for a nicer day to do this. So I'll just put them back. Put my chims. Put my chims. Okay. Well, let's look at this again, and you can clearly see the some bees over here and some bees over here. Two separate quadrants. If there was a bee in there, they'd be pretty much balled up around her versus breaking that cluster like that. So what I'll do, like I said, I'll keep them alive. There's plenty of honey in this box. I'll keep them alive for a long, long time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor the slow decline of this colony, and then keep sampling just to see how sick these bees are, and I'll dissect that queen probably tonight or sometime this week. Cheers.